Texas lawmakers are headed to a special session after Democrats walked out of the final moments of the regular session and blocked a vote on a controversial voting bill. Governor Abbott calls Senate Bill 7 a must-pass emergency item and is now threatening retribution if it doesn't pass. Marcelo Benito shows us all the drama that went down today and what is next.
Len, if Governor Abbott follows through on his new threat, lawmakers from both parties would not get paid. Democrats are calling it a ridiculous act of revenge.
This bill.
Hours of debate ended in drama at the Texas House.
A quorum is apparently not present. The point of order is well taken and sustained.
House Democrats walked out, blocking SB 7 just before its midnight deadline.
We killed that bill.
SB 7 would have eliminated 24-hour and drive-through voting, which helped Harris County break voter turnout records. Today, Democrats celebrated the demise of a bill they say targeted black and brown voters in the state.
It was every single member of our caucus who fought this fight and won this battle.
But tonight, Republicans making it clear the fight isn't over.
You say kill for now. I think we'll call it delay.
GOP State Rep Briscoe Cain worked on the bill in the House. Republicans argue it's necessary to prevent fraud and protect the integrity of the vote.
It adds 94 more counties and expands the voting there. It does anything but suppress votes.
Cain says they'll work to get it across the finish line during the special session.
For me, that job is not done, so I fully support the governor in that decision. Let's get back to work.
But lawmakers may not get paid for that work. The governor tweeted he'll veto portions of the budget that fund the legislature for the next 2 fiscal years.
It's nonsensical. I can't even respond to it. And if you just take it for face value, if you defund the legislature, you basically have a monarchy because you are eliminating that branch of government that represents the people.
Democrats say the governor's threat won't stop them from fighting.
This is Texas. This is the Alamo. We will do everything we can to stop voter suppression.
This special session tentatively slated to begin this fall, and our political analyst says it's likely a bill like this will pass then. Len, back to you.